What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking another look at Vinnie. This time we're actually going to be looking at Groot, just because I've seen a lot of Groots kind of in my games recently. It seems like he's rising on the popularity a little bit. So figured it would be nice to go through and give people a little bit of a reference point, see what a professional player does with Groot, and go from there. I will also still be looking for a Penny Parker probably, and a couple Black Panther replays too, to see if I can get you guys something along those lines. But for now, we're going to be taking a look at this guy, and it's definitely kind of hard to find tanks in Marvel Rivals nowadays. So, if you can add a tank to your bag, that definitely helps your team out quite a bit. He is double tanking here with the Doctor Strange, so he is going to have the luxury of backing up, going forward a little bit. Unfortunately, he stays up on this high ground a little bit too long and gets absolutely demolished in the first kind of little section of the map. His Doctor Strange does a good job of backing off and is able to get topped off as he runs back to spawn. Unfortunately, they do lose Melania on the storm, so they're going to get pushed back a little bit and get a really bad stagger on the Moon Knight. So this game isn't going to be going super great off the rip. And I think at this point we're just going to back up a great amount. I think he should probably back up to Narnia here. Not even try and do anything, but he is getting a little bit of ult charge, able to still throw those right clicks into the group of enemies up there, using his wall to step up forward. Unfortunately, I think he's in a bad line of sight here. Line of sighting his healers. And that's something you definitely want to keep in mind, especially when you're playing as Groot, while you're playing against a Groot. If you're going to push up in front of your walls or something like that, definitely keep that in mind. Moon Knight gets a tremendously good ult here right as they come through the portal, and the enemy is going to be able to take that first point. So not off to a great start, but they do end up winning this game, so don't you worry, we'll turn it around. Getting right back into it, he does make that little ramp up there, has access to that ult with the Moon Knight also on his team, so you can combo that pretty nicely. And they haven't actually had a pretty good fight at the moment, so hopefully they'll be able to turn this around. They do lose their Storm again. He is looking for a flank behind, looking to get a big ult on the back line of this team. Popping his wall, popping his seeds, Moon Knight gets some nice follow-up. Luna is able to survive that, unfortunately, but they do get the Invisible Woman and the Moon Knight with that Groot Moon Knight combo. Storm following up afterwards. No Luna ult available. They do have Invisible Woman, but she's still running back, and they're able to get the enemy off this point, kind of turn the tides of the game a little bit. Popping a wall to back up. And on defense, I think he does definitely use walls to create a little bit more space, protect himself a little bit as he's backing up, as opposed to cutting people off from their team. I've seen a lot of people do it both ways, so, dropping a little bit of a wall there, maybe creating a little bit of line of sight issues for their healers, but the enemy Groot, I feel like, is definitely using his walls in a nice, appealing fashion for the rest of his team. His Doctor Strange goes in with a beautiful ult, walls the Groot off the rest of his team, so he's not able to get healed, even though he probably was going to still die anyway. And they get the nice clean wipe with the help of that Doctor Strange ult, not needing to blow anything else to make that happen. Just over 3 minutes left on the clock as well. Playing high ground here. I think he might be looking for a cheeky ult. If you couldn't tell, this is my first time watching the replay as well, so I don't know what is going to happen. All I know is that they win. Taking a couple people pretty low here, using a wall to block people off. Gets a beautiful ult here. Moon Knight once again combos with him. And while CC'd, they can't do anything about it. Luna does waste her ult on the enemy team there and has to just run away with it. If you see that combo come through and your team is already CC'd and the Moon Knight ult is already out, don't Luna ult, because you can't heal through it anyway. So don't worry about that. So they know that the Luna does not have ult. The Cloak and Dagger also does not have ult. I think did she blow it in that combo? That was definitely a mistake as well. So with no defensive ults on their team, Storm should be free to just do kind of whatever she wants. The enemy Groot ult does come out here, and they try and get a similar thing happening with the Groot Moon Knight combo. They only get the Luna on his team. So unfortunately, they're a little bit too spread out for Storm to be able to get a whole lot there. Strange and him, Loki is taken out as well. Storm will be soon to follow. And they take the 4 for 1, I think. 1 for 4. This spawn is not super far away, so they should still be able to get a touch. Just a minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. Using his right click to poke a little bit, build a little bit more ult charge. They know if they get one more big Moon Knight Groot combo, they should be sitting pretty. So walling off the tanks a little bit from the rest of the team. Tries to get the pick on the Doctor Strange there too by doing the same thing. Not able to do it super effectively, but the walls are doing a good job at putting up a little bit of interference. Enemy Doctor Strange does ult there. I heard the voice line, but he's already back up to 16%, so. And they should have access to 4 ults. The naked Moon Knight ult takes out both of their healers, so that's a little bit crazy. Psylocke ult comes through as well, takes out the Moon Knight and the Doctor Strange. And just like that, they're down 4, just need to back up, concede this second point, and play for the third one. So that was definitely unexpected, for sure. But backing up, hopefully everyone changes their spawn location. If you didn't know that already too, when the enemy takes a point, you can always go back into your spawn room, press G on PC, and you will go back to your more updated spawn location. So keep that in mind. Gets a nice Groot ult around the corner here. Moon Knight following up as usual. And once again, they pop Cloak and Dagger ult and they pop Luna ult. Luna not able to heal through that. Able to get 3 picks on the enemy team. And they should be fighting 3 people up. Going to be able to chase down the rest of the team. Stagger the Cloak and Dagger pretty badly. The supports on the enemy team, I think, are actually kind of throwing here. Because they're both ulting the Groot ults every single time. Cloak and Dagger and Luna are both ulting here. And they just can't heal through it anyway. So be careful about that when you have a Moon Knight on the enemy team. You can't heal through it. Just get out of it. Could Cloak and Dagger fade, but when she's CC'd like that, you can't do that. Groot on the enemy team tries to get a similar sort of thing going. Able to take out the Storm and the Moon Knight, but they get 3 in return. So still going to be fighting a person up. Able to contest this point, cap it back, and make sure that it's not getting any ground on them. Dropping the bigger Groot wall in the front to slow the enemy team down. And we've already farmed back a Groot ult. So sitting in a good spot. Walling off the enemy team, making sure that his Doctor Strange stays a little bit safe. His Storm pops ult and is just standing in the middle of the enemy team. They do have Groot Moon Knight ult again. Loki able to keep them a little bit safe. Oh no, that's his Loki. I'm confused. But his Luna ult's just for pressure. Mag ult should be coming in here in a second. Doctor Strange able to block that. Enemy Cloak and Dagger ults as well to try and keep her team alive on point with just about 5 seconds left on the clock. Pretty nice Doctor Strange ult coming in. Zones a lot of people off. Not able to get a whole lot off of it though. And he is just standing on point, making sure that card does not get any distance. Walls the Magneto off here from his healers. Does the same thing to the Strange. His team is able to follow up damage. They polish off the Luna, and they're going to be able to get this victory in the first round with a score of 2-0. Just over 95 meters on the payload. So all they need to do is get that 3rd point, and they'll be chilling. Or they need to just get a little bit further. So going right back into it on offense. Let's see if he plays any different on offense. Getting right onto the point here, not going up to that high ground. I think he's got PTSD from the first round. Died a little bit early up there, so he's just going to cap the point and stay on it a little bit. Decides to get back in here. Psylocke is invisible right behind him. I think she is walled off there. Ends up dying on this wall. Beautiful wall. Keeps the Groot and the Psylocke from getting back to their team. So they should be fighting a person up here. 2 people up here. And their spawn is much closer, so if they get aces here, this is going to be a lot of distance that they can get on the payload. Walling off the Doctor Strange, again, beautiful there. And Groot is super annoying to play against. I feel like I definitely need to start playing this character, because this guy is super annoying, especially if you're playing tank on the enemy team. The Doctor Strange portal comes out. I believe that's a friendly portal, though. So they're going to be stalling off that main drag, forcing the enemy to go over onto this left-hand side. And the enemy Luna ult does commit ults pretty much kind of offensively. There's not any DPS cooldowns used except for Storm ult a little bit later. They do get the Groot Moon Knight combo, taking out both tanks on the enemy team. Luna ult should be fading here in a second. Or no, that is Loki ult. Walling off the Moon Knight, making sure he can't get back to his team. Storm getting to taking out the Psylocke and the Moon Knight there as well. Getting a nice stagger on the 2 DPS on the enemy team. They take this first point, reset the clock to about 5 minutes, and they are sitting in a good spot. Still just using these right clicks as poke more often than not. And stepping up a little further to try and make sure that he can wall off some of these tank players. Keep them from their team, keeping them from heals. And they're just playing space for this payload as it catches up behind them. Moon Knight has access to ult. He's just farming his. And I do like how the Moon Knight gets his ult. He sees a couple. I mean, right here, this would be kind of a crazy Moon Knight ult. The Loki lamps are still up, but as soon as those are gone, the enemy is very, very grouped up. But he's looking for that, that guaranteed, CC'd enemies will die in that cooldown. So Doctor Strange gets an ult. Unfortunately, it's blocked by the enemy Doctor Strange there. Going to try and look for this Groot ult here in a second. Namor is able to get the nice Groot Namor one-shot. Takes out 4 members of his team, and they should just back up. Melania on that Storm, not able to get anything else out of her ult. That might have been committed before the actual fight kind of broke out, so. But still access to that Moon Knight ult. Luna ult, Groot ult should still be good, especially with 3.5 minutes on the clock. They have plenty of time just to get halfway to the next point. And again, if you guys want to see any specific people being spectated, anything like that, I'm happy to go through any of that. There is a sub from a while back that I will probably be doing a spectating video on as well. I believe he plays Loki, so I think that should be coming soon as well. Was kind of just debating if I wanted to actually spectate subscribers to some degree, just based off comments and stuff like that. So, we'll see about that. Pushing really far forward here, making a lot of space for the payload, just getting it towards that second point. And walling off a little bit of this hallway here. Doctor Strange dropping both of his portals to both keep that Groot from getting anywhere useful, forcing the enemy over around this right-hand side. They get a nice 2-piece on the Strange and the Luna. They follow it up, and they get 4 total. This Moon Knight is in Narnia. I don't know what he's doing over there. Setting the clock back to just about 4 minutes. And at this point, I mean, you could play space, but I definitely like to have at least one person on the payload. Oh, they do have one person on the payload, so they are making that go a little bit quicker. Trying to keep the enemy a little further back here. Making sure to take out Onks. Always kill Onks. Whatever you do, kill Onks. They get Groot ulted here. Following up with the Moon Knight. Moon Knight's able to get 2, 3. And they are just going to have to back up here. Go back to their spawn. They get 6 for 0. That is okay. They still get the payload pretty much to where they need to get it. So. And their spawn is very, very close by. Moon Knight is actually able to sit in spawn and do a little bit of damage. Just throwing his auto attacks at the enemy. And now we're just looking for a good Groot Moon Knight combo, because one more good ult combo will win the game. Storm popping ult on the enemy team, or on the ally team. Gets a nice Groot ult. Triple kill with the Moon Knight. Luna not able to keep anyone alive here, and she's just going to dance around on point here, trying to stall a little bit. And by Luna, I mean Loki, obviously. Gosh. Only a fool would have confused the two. And the Luna on the enemy team does ult, but she is miles away, and we will get the victory 3-2. Just beating the enemy team on distance traveled and usher in the victory that way. So I hope that was a good kind of framework if you want to start playing Groot. Super strong tank, very strong with Moon Knight. Things like Moon Knight and Namor combo with him very well. You guarantee those one-shots. So go ahead and try this character out. If there's any other characters that you want to see, any specific players you want to see, me do a spectating video on, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment. I appreciate comments. I appreciate all of your support so far. Keep it up, like the video if you liked it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.